you have to commit to that and not be doing it because you're expecting business back.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because that's where a lot of people will fail. Yeah.
Play until my fingers hurt, right until I find the words. Everybody says that nothing ever lasts forever.
Yeah.
I learned a lot.
Play until my fingers hurt, right until I find the words.
No, we're always videoing, so
Okay.
just so you know.
I've watched too many people misuse credit.
Yeah.
And credit's a good thing. It's a necessary
It's
thing.
necessary.
I
Yeah.
mean, you have to have it.
Yeah,
You can't
credit's
even go
necessary.
get a car. You can't
Right.
rent a car without, a credit card. So all these people that try to live cash only, they come to see you and they don't understand why.
They can't get a great rate, or they can't get a loan, or anything like that. Right.
And I'm like, what I want to teach people to do is manipulate your score. If you're not using your score for your advantage, someone else is.
Sure.
And there's a way to manipulate your score, and I say that not in a negative way.
Sure. No.
But you do
Well,
it. You
just
do
like
it
with
for
anything,
purpose.
there's a strategy.
It is. You
I
do
mean,
it for
more
purpose.
than manipulation, it's a strategy on how to get the highest score with the least amount of utilization of credit.
Right.
Right? Because we don't want to put people in debt, right?
Right.
So how do I better manage their debt that they're getting into? So if that's combining it with the credit education, which is a big thing for me, because just like you, I don't like debt. It's necessary, but let's put a strategy so you're utilizing less of it, but still getting the best score for the lowest rate.
Right.
And then when we put you into a home loan, let's don't look at necessarily the rate. Let's look at the total cost of ownership of that loan over the period of time that you're going to keep the house or the loan active, right? Because sometimes people think that the lowest rate ends up yielding the least amount of ownership costs, and that's just not the case. Depending on how long you're going to be in the home,
Right.
there could be other ways to do it, whether you have money that's tied up in an investment that you're thinking about pulling out. You have to look at the loss on that investment as compared to putting less money down, maybe doing an MI buyout, and
Right.
it could be 3-4 years and you may end up in a better position keeping the money invested. So it's more about that bigger strategy than it is just saying, let's get the lowest rate. I mean, that's what our industry sucks. I mean, that's all we do is we just promote, hey, here's a teaser rate, let's get you in. But then it's up to us, basically the advisors or the boots on the ground to say, no. It's not always about just rate. Let's combine it with something else and then see if that yields you a lower total cost.
I have a question
Right.
for you. I don't mean to interrupt you, but
Yeah, you're fine.
okay. And I know we're off track of what I came for, but I'm fine with that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I like learning myself. So tell me this, because I'm real big on education. I'm real big on educating realtors. Is it a challenge for you when some of these consumers just don't want to know? Okay, how do you get them to want to be educated?
Okay, so I don't.
Okay.
I don't worry about them. So if you listen to a lot of things that I do, and as our relationship kind of evolves, you'll see this more. I only worry about the process and not the outcome. Okay, the outcome is something I can't control. Them choosing to be educated, them choosing to apply what I'm talking about, them choosing me because it's a better loan over the person that just knows how to sell a rate and that's all they're trying to do. And even though it's the wrong product, they're a great car salesman type deal and they sell it, right? I can't worry about that. All I can worry about is what we do, which is our education, our commitment to educating, all of our classes, events, webinars, all that stuff. That's all I focus on, the marketing to drive people there. If I got one person, if I got 1,000 people, if I got the 14 people that are coming in today and they all embrace it and use it and I get a bunch of business from it, great. If I don't, but they're still applying it out there, then I still consider that to be a win. And eventually, the more, and this is what's been happening for the years that I've been doing this, more people continue to choose us because we're consistent with the content that we put out.
Right.
We put out great content and it's all centered around value, giving you a value without asking for anything in return. And then there's that obligation in their mind to give at that point,
Right.
because we're not asking. And so that's all I can worry about. I mean, whether they apply it or not, man, that's like you said, there's a lot of ones that will, and there's a lot of them that just don't get it, or they're sitting there and they hear it, but they just don't understand it. So they keep coming back, which is great. I want to keep seeing them and keep helping them, but at some point it's like, okay, take and apply. Now let's get you to actually take action, which is a hard thing for a lot of people to do, because that takes time. It takes an investment in themselves, and then how they're going to apply that to communicate that to people. That's a hard thing, right? Because what they're wanting to do is just get a deal and sell a house. Anything else for me?
That's it.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it too, man.
Yeah.
I learned a lot, so I did. And I'm fascinated by the different opportunities we have to teach people.
Hey, Danny. Hey, sorry, buddy. All right, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I want to grab a cup of coffee right quick, if that's all right.
How you doing?
Doing well, man. Good to see you.
So what brings you in here? So I'm here to meet Bob today. I had a social media marketing class last week, and it was a good turnout, but it wasn't what I expected, and still trying to get my feet wet in the social media sphere of the mortgage industry, and I think Bob is someone that's highlighted a lot of areas and strengths on how to do so. So Bob was kind enough to meet with me today, give me some pointers, and I hope to pick his brain, and hope to be as successful and as famous as he is one day. Honestly, that's one of the reasons I took this meeting, because his is candid. It's like he's in here talking, having real conversations, real objections. Yeah, I was actually just explaining to him, so I'm trying to, get my social media footprint out there is one of the bigger tasks that I've been tackling lately. And I think that some of the classes I've been putting on about how to engage in your social media, how to correlate it with personal and business, I think that is a key.
You have to commit to that and not be doing it because you're expecting business back.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's where a lot of people will fail early on, is because they say, I'm going to do some social stuff. I'm going to put my stuff out there because it's going to bring me business.
Right.
Right? It doesn't. It doesn't bring you immediate business at all. It only is there to help you establish your brand. If you're consistent with the content that you put out on a daily basis, or whatever your content marketing strategy is going to be, we choose to put out stuff on a daily basis. But it's not anything related to trying to get something back in return for one post. Doing one video, I hope to get something back.
Yeah.
Not at all. It's to do exactly what you just said, which is to have us present every day in front of our community, whether we're there or not. Mm-hmm. And then when we are present with them belly to belly, the meeting is just, it takes different form, it takes a different shape, and we're able to get down to really what their needs are a lot quicker, and so that I can figure out how to impact their life a lot quicker, because they see all the stuff that we do. They know all about us. Right. They know what we're doing, why we do it, how we do it. What we do, how we do it, and then from there, it's just, all right, what do you guys are needing and wanting, and how do we help you solve it? Yeah. But what we've been talking about is not, it's doing business with Danny, and that's a brand, right, and that's trust, which is your number one currency, right? Is you want that trust to be, when I do something with Danny, it's done. It's going to deliver an exceptional client experience. It's going to be done every single time the same way. There's consistency behind it, and we trust it, right? That's what I want. That's the only thing I'm looking for, is trust. Yeah. And we just choose to go down the social path to brand it that way. Right. So over time, people trust, right? They may not trust me day one because they don't know me. But 365 days of just pushing content in front of them and finally meeting me, like, wow, I wish we would have met you a long time ago. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah. And that's what happens, like there are people we do business with that we've been trying to get in front of for 2 years, 3 years, right? Timing just doesn't work. They already have a relationship, and it's all good. Stay there. Eventually, they'll meet, and eventually we'll win it. Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Well, and I really do love to get to just know you more. Learn more about what you're doing, what the challenges you're having.